Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Rest, and what if I told you Gearbox actually seems to be fixing Borderlands 3? A lot of our issues are actually getting solved with these updates that they keep coming out with, and there's two that we need to go over today. Starting off, we're going to start off with the big one, and that is this Crazy Earl's reroll machine and Maurice's black market vending machine. Now, a huge problem with the game that we have all been plagued with is the fact that the anointment system is just awful. The amount of anointments that are in the game compared to the amount of time that it takes to actually farm for a weapon you want to get, it's just not even similar in the slightest. And on Mayhem 10 or 11, anoints make such a huge part of the game, and that is what makes your builds work. If you don't have the right anoint on a weapon, you can definitely expect to not have your build be top tier and not be able to get insane clear times where if you had something that would. Just think about it. If you're running a deathless Mose and you don't have a URAD anoint, you're completely hindering yourself. Yes, you could use something like a 390 anoint or an ASC elemental anoint, but the URAD anoint is just overall going to be the best for that. And if you don't have it, the build is getting hindered. So that problem is getting fixed with this change. If we right here, Director's Cut add-on will bring all new ways to Borderlands 3. This is just talking about all the stuff it's adding with the Director's Cut, but this is a free update to all players. You do not have to buy the Director's Cut for this, but Crazy Earl's reroll is a huge boom to the Vault Hunters looking to get the most out of the gear. You'll find the machine near Crazy Earl's reclusive residence in the cargo bay of Sanctuary 3, right across from the Veteran Rewards machine. By spending some of your precious iridium, Crazy Earl's contraption will replace the existing anointment on an item. And they say right here, anointments are powerful effects attached to some items that can unlock the full potential of your character build, as I was just saying. By rerolling an anointment on your favorite pieces of gear, you can create the most optimized loadout imaginable and become the envy of all your fellow Vault Hunters. But buyer beware, when using Crazy Earl's reroll, the replacement anoint you get is entirely up to Crazy Earl, and you can't revert it back to your previous anoint. No take backsies. So I think this is saying that you're going to be able to reroll this an unlimited amount of times. It's just when you reroll it, you cannot revert your reroll. So if you have something decent and reroll and you get something absolutely terrible, you can't reroll that back to what it was decent unless you just get it randomly again. Or second thought to this, if you have an anoint and you reroll it, it takes it out the anointment loot pool. So that means eventually, if you spend enough iridium, you might get the guaranteed anoint you want, but I'm pretty sure it's going to work the first way I was talking about. Who knows, it could be the second way. You can just guarantee the anoint you want on a weapon. Literally, the only downside to this is the fact that it's beside Crazy Earl, and it's going to be a long ways to run once you load into Sanctuary 3. But literally, everything else about this is such a great change. It's going to allow everybody to actually start going for builds they want to get. If somebody watches a build on YouTube, be it mine or anybody else's, and they want to go for that build, they actually have a way to get these anoints now. But then we actually have another change, which is kind of something they threw in there, which is Maurice's black market vending machine. This is going to be a vending machine where you're going to get legendaries. We'll just read it right here. Everyone's favorite Saurian is surprisingly tight-lipped on the subject. All we know for certain is that this vending machine offers top-tier legendary loot and will be hidden in a new location each week, though you won't need to scour any DLC areas as it only appears in zones from the base campaign. It'll be up to the Borderlands community to track down Maurice's black market vending machine each week to see what he's got. So this is literally Xur from Destiny if you play Destiny. This is just going to be a secret vending machine hidden in the world somewhere. It's going to offer legendaries each week, and I assume they're going to be fixed for everybody. So they're already going to come with certain anoints, certain parts and everything. And this is also going to be a good way for everybody to get a good gun they need for a build. I can see a lot of good potential things coming out of this. You could make builds on the certain weapons that he's selling each week. You could get like the top 4 best weapons and try to make a build around that. That could be entertaining. Or if he's selling a really good weapon for a build that already exists, obviously you could buy that one too, and you won't have to use your iridium to reroll. So both of these changes are great. It is making it way easier to actually get the legendaries you need with the anointments. Yes, it's very easy to get legendaries in the game, and on top of all the other changes coming with the Director's Cut, with the diamond keys, the vault keys, everything, it's making the replayability of Borderlands each week seem to be very valuable, whereas now it's just like you make your build, see how it performs, and you're pretty much done with it. So it's adding a lot of replayability to the game, and I'm super happy about these changes. But now if we actually go over to these hot fixes that came out today, yes, there are nerfs in this, and I know people aren't going to like nerfs, but these nerfs are definitely nerfs that we saw coming. The characters that got nerfed are just clearly in need of one. They are super strong and just destroy every other character in comparison. So we have right here implementing a stacking cap of 2 to the operative's commitment skill to bring it in line with similar skills and prevent excessive stacking. Commitment we all saw was getting a nerf. Commitment is just absolutely broken. You can get insane amount of cooldown and damage with this skill because you have literally infinite stacks. Now it's going to get stacked at 2. It's still going to make the skill pretty decent. I mean, if you have 4 in it from the spy class mod, I think you get like 50% damage per stack. So that's literally 100% more damage right there, plus cooldown rate. It's still going to be really good. It's just not going to be insane anymore. Like, it's going to be way more in line with other skills and other anoints and stuff in the game. But then we have decreased damage bonus on the gunner short fuse skill from 75 to 50%. Short fuse is what allows you to one-shot bosses on top of some other things with Moes. They're toning this down. This was also definitely coming. Short fuse makes pretty much any gunner Moes good, just like commitment up here. Maybe not as easy as commitment, but it's still really, really good. But then stuff I actually didn't see coming is that they are buffing Amara a lot with her action skills. As you see, increase the damage done by skills by using the Siren's Phase Cast and Phase Slam, and they actually listed the buffs this time. They're not insane, but they are pretty decent. So we have Phase Cast damage increased by 5%. So I'm pretty sure this is just a overall buff to Phase Cast, and the reason I'm saying this is because they also are buffing her other things like Deliverance, bonus increased by 5%, Reverberation, bonus increased by 10%, Tandava, bonus increased by 10%. So I'm assuming Reverberation 10% increase is going to stack with something like the Phase Cast 5% damage increase, which in total would be 15%, but I'm not 100% sure. If it's just saying the base Phase Cast increase, it's not a lot, but it is a little bit more damage, and Phase Cast and stuff already can do decent damage if you're running a build specifically dedicated towards it. So this is just adding more damage on top of that. It might make it easier to get those one shots with it. Then we also have Phase Slam getting a 10% damage increase, Fracture getting increased by 35%, then Downfall increased by 10%. You could already make some crazy things with Downfall, but it definitely was not the greatest. And then Fracture getting a huge buff, and if it stacks on top of the normal Phase Slam buff, Fracture is going to be insane. Again, you could already kind of make builds that made Fracture kind of decent, so this is just going to be absurd now, it seems, and I could definitely see a lot of active skill based builds coming out with this. And then finally, lowered the damage bonus on the Guardian rank perk Groundbreaker from 25% to 10%. This is a huge change. Groundbreaker is literally a groundbreaking perk, no pun intended. It breaks the game. It makes any character be able to do a melee build, and this is definitely going to tone it back some. It's still going to be really, really good, don't get me wrong, but you're not going to just see these absurd damage numbers anymore like you can as it is now. And then on top of that, they also had a bunch of weapon adjustments: Creep and Death, increase reload explosive damage, Amazing Grace, increase weapon damage, Mutant, slightly increase the recoil rate, increase weapon damage, Painless Power, increase weapon damage, Trap Bolt, weapon damage, Satisfaction, weapon damage, Plumage, weapon damage, Freeman, weapon damage, Face Puncher, decreased weapon damage. The Face Puncher is also receiving a nerf on top of Groundbreaker receiving a nerf, and on top of last week Amar also receiving melee nerfs. So they're really, really trying to nerf this melee playstyle into the ground, which kind of sucks. But the Face Puncher, again, is a weapon we all saw get a nerf. It completely breaks the game, and it allows pretty much every character to just one-shot bosses. And with some of the interactions on Amara, specifically with all her melee damage skills, you could just get crazy amounts of damage out of this. And like I said, we definitely all knew this was coming. But that is all for the changes. If we actually go back for a second and talk about the reroll machine, like I was saying, that is going to take Iridium to reroll, so you're going to want to stack up on a lot of Iridium to get these anoints reroll. Gearbox is actually releasing the Show Me the Iridium event up until April 8th, so this is going to give you a whole week to start saving up Iridium. Definitely go out and farm some of this. I know it sucks because Outriders is out this week, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be playing that, including myself, but if you definitely want to reroll some of these anoints and play the update on April 8th, I would definitely recommend at least farming a good bit of Iridium, since you're going to be able to reroll these anoints. And on top of that, they also added where they're preventing artifacts from dropping players before they unlock at level 27. That's good. Increase the chance of legendary gear to appear in the golden chest in Sanctuary 3. That's decent, I guess. And then lowered the amount of damage being passed along to passive skills that use mayhem scaling in mayhem 6 and above. So again, overall, these changes are very, very healthy for the game. A lot of good balance changes. Even if you don't like nerfs, they're gonna help the game in the long run. A lot of good replayability coming from the director's cut, like I was saying. Then on top of the free update with the anoint roll and essentially Xur being in Borderlands now, so you can definitely start to expect seeing weekly updates on where the vending machine's at and rolls and anointments he has on specific legendary gear. If it's every Friday like it is in Destiny, definitely expect to see those on Friday. But yeah, that's gonna be all for me. Let me know what you guys think about all this, and if you enjoyed, consider subscribing and dropping a like. It's free and I truly appreciate it. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.